I'm going to introduce this young man here. He comes from a famous football factory. I'm not talking about the Oakley Chargers either. I'm talking about the mighty Camberwell Sharks Footy Club, where my boys are at down there. Jamie Macmillan, welcome.
Thank you very much for having me.
Were you the most famous son to come out of the Sharks?
Oh, there's been a few boys down there come out of there.
Who else?
Chris Scott's played a couple of games down there. So I think there's a few others, but
we're well on the way. Now, listen, there's a history. I'm going to hand you over to these three boys very shortly, but there's a history of guests coming on here that are late withdrawals the week before they were to play. I think we had the St Kilda lad not too long ago, and you were a late withdrawal on Friday night.
Yeah, I just had a bit of gastro on Thursday and Friday, so yeah, unfortunately made the call Friday afternoon, or the medicos and coaches made the call, so yeah, unfortunately couldn't take my place.
And they made the call because it was such a big clash for you guys. Obviously Friday night footy in Carlton. I mean, it was pretty good arm wrestle throughout the day, but they've been in such good form as North Melbourne have. But I suppose their defensive pressure was the thing that obviously put you guys under the pump.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, we stuck with them for pretty much 3 and a bit quarters, and there was sort of a 10-minute period in the last quarter there that they got the jump on us, and unfortunately sort of ran away winners in the end. And yeah, I think it just sort of came down to their defensive pressure was pretty spot on the night. So,
Jamie, do you feel like you're bridging the gap on those sides? To me, it sort of seems like you're getting closer to the better sides each time. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, we've got full confidence in what we're doing and how we're going about it, and I know all the coaches do as well. And each time we go out onto the ground and play those sides, we've got confidence that we can match it with them.
There's such, but just on that quickly, there's such a pool of, I suppose, clubs that are in the mix for finals. Top 4 you could probably cement in, top 5. But that opportunity there, obviously, for you guys to really take that next step from last year's, obviously, development.
Yeah, obviously, I mean, this weekend we got Hawthorn down in Tassie, and it's a massive game for us. I mean, if we can get over the line there, it sort of sets us up. Then we go into a bye and have a good break, and we come home with Fremantle, St Kilda and Richmond. So we've definitely got an opportunity, and it's in our own hands now, so just got to make the most of it.
Now, Jamie, as we have a look at a bit of vision of you playing this year, tell us about how it's gone. You copped a heavy knock in the pre-season, and then you've played in a range of spots.
Yeah, I suppose I started all right in the pre-season, and then unfortunately couldn't get in the side early on in the year. It was down in Werribee, but forced my way in about round 5 or 6, I think it was, and then played, I think, 6 or 7 games and ended up being on the end of a fairly big hit from Richie Douglas. Not that I remember much of it, but then I was out for 4 or 5 weeks there, and had just come back in, and unfortunately Friday.
What about all these young kids coming down? Was that Brad Scott, who was just in here for the Sunday Footy Show? You all coming together? You live with Ryan Bastanak, so you've got a great relationship there, but it is a wonderful group that can get to 60, 70, 80 games together, and that's when you're going to have a real impact.
Yeah, exactly. I think the last few years we've drafted a lot of players, so you know, as long as we can stay together and really, you know, I suppose put in the hard yards. Just Basti here, is it?
What's he like as a housemate? Is he a messy bugger, or what's he do his bit or not?
Is he inside at home? Does he ruffle you up a little bit?
He likes to play inside on the footy field, but I'm not going to say he plays inside at home. He likes to put his feet up on the couch a bit and let me and Matty Scott do the work, I think.
And your own draft story, you actually drafted the same year as Ryan, and that often happens, you become mates, but your own story about getting to North and how it unfolded.
Yeah, I played Oakley in the under-18s, my bottom age, but I didn't actually play a game at all. I had a stress fracture in my lower back, so didn't play a single game in, I think it was the 08 year. And then 09 I played a bit at the Chargers and also with Vic Metro. And then I had a chat to North, I think just before the draft camp. They came out to my house, the recruiters, Bryce Lewis and Cameron Joyce. And then at draft camp again, I had the full panel there with obviously all the coaches and all the recruiting and all the other sort of people in their recruiting panel. And yeah, and then on draft night, just hadn't spoken to them since after draft camp, and then on draft night.